Big news this week for Age of Empires fan. It's been an amazing week. And joining us today is Adam Isgreen, who is the creative director of Age of Empires. Adam, great to see you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you for having me on the show. It's great to see you too.
First of all, congratulations on all the news, and we're going to go through that in just a minute. Great news. So we've got the console, AoE coming to console for PC fans. I mean, you've added the Age of Mythology Retold.
Oh, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, because you can go up to YouTube, or I'll put a link in the show notes where you can go look at the Xbox Wire post. But tell us a little bit about the Age of Mythology Retold, because that's fascinating.
I'm so happy we can finally get to Age of Mythology. I am someone that has always said I like a little fantasy in my reality, right? And I think that mythology has been a long time coming. It's one of those games that I think so many people love so wholeheartedly that I know it took us a while to get to it because we were working on all the other Age stuff, but we really wanted to take the time to make sure that we could do mythology right. As you know, or might not know, mythology was done before Age of Empires 3 was done. So it was actually done on the earlier version of the engine that then moved to Age 3. And so as we were looking at mythology, we're like, well, what do we do with it? Like, where do we put it? You can imagine with all these different Age games, maintaining engines becomes an issue, right? Sure. Tech. And so we had a lot of discussions on trying to figure out how we could ideally bring the game out, which I think is one of the things that took us some time. But I am so happy for people to be able to experience the definitive edition of Age of Mythology now, right? We're talking completely redone units and animations, the orchestral version, fully symphonic version of the soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
Like all of the tweaks and things and modernizations that we can do in the game, the options we're going to allow players. Mythology has a lot of very unique gameplay in it that wasn't captured in the other Age games, and some things that purists probably love the way it plays, but there's some things that a lot of us are like, only one use on god powers? Is that really that fun?
That doesn't feel godlike.
Yeah, it doesn't feel godlike. Like, I want to throw some meteors around more than once. So not to say that we're going to not allow people to play the old way, but that we're looking at a bunch of options, right? And we've been doing this hand in hand with the community, I think is the important thing to say here. Is that, like, we've been bringing them along and they've been in on this for a while of making sure that we really can make an incredible version of Age of Mythology with all of the content, right? The Chinese DLC and the civilization, improved, right? And really, really playable. I really believe that I think mythology can honestly go up there and compete toe to toe with the other Age games,
right?
In quality and in content. And so I'm really looking forward to kicking off this relationship with mythology, and then hopefully, we run it for years and years, just like we have the other ones. Well, January, you're going to get Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition on January 23. You're going to get Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition on console. Yep. And then later the year, you're going to get 4. We want to make sure there's, funnily enough, while we were developing them, remember, they're 2 different engines, right? Age 2 is on a different engine, Age 4. Yeah. So there's a lot of we made this better. We got to move it to this. Now we got to move it to the other version. You can't just
copy and paste, right?
Right. So there's a lot of behind the scenes finagling when we hit on some idea that's amazing, right? And we implement it in one of the games. Now we're like, well, we can't
leave that behind.
Yeah, I can't leave that behind. So the Age 2 game is setting the pace, which is why 4 is following because of that translation time. But it's going really great. Like, those 2 are coming out. We haven't announced the date for Mythology yet, but just know that we are working on it. Mythology Retold is going to be something special. I'm very happy to talk more about that one when we can. Mobile, we've got some really great stuff in place for mobile. We didn't even mention that we are going to be moving campaigns and content from Age 1 into the Age 2 DE engine as well.
Right.
That's a big step because, again, we have so many engines we maintain, and 2 did a lot of improvements over 1.
Yep.
And so, again, working hand in hand with the Age 1 community and the really passionate players, we're starting to move that content into Age 2 so that people can have all of Age 1 and Age 2, hopefully eventually in one place, which would be great.
Well, a lot of fun stuff. Adam Isgreen, you're the creative director for Age of Empires. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Larry.